Hey, 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 it's your girl Nay coming to you with another episode of As Told by Nay, the podcast. Happy Thursday, everybody. I hope you're having a great day thus far. I hope that life is good, life is great. Hope that you're feeling well, taking care of yourself, and just being the amazing people that I know that you can be. I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling okay. Definitely have been better. Kind of what prompted today's conversation, which is going to be pretty much about taking care of yourself, being in a space where you're putting you first, knowing when it's time to take a break, take a breather, take a step back, reevaluate some things, and do what's best for you. With all that being said, if I had to pick tonight's conversation a title, I would call it Breathe, Stretch, Shake, Let It Go. I know a lot of you, if not everybody, is familiar with that song from back in the day. Breathe, stretch, shake, let it go. Because that's very, very necessary sometimes to really get to a space where we understand enough is enough and it's time to just take a break. Um, so boom, let's get into it. Tonight's conversation is heavily weighted in surrounding mental health. Um, a lot of you guys know, and for my newer followers and people tuning in for the first time, I'm a therapist. That's not the only reason why I'm such an advocate of mental health. It's really because it's important. And people tend to not understand that. We tend to have this mindset and the energy of, our generation is that we're supposed to keep going. We're supposed to figure it out. We're supposed to just be in this space of unrest. Like that saying, sleep when I'm dead, stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. But a lot of people live by that. A lot of people work, 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 work. A lot of people work harder and not smarter. A lot of people feel like there's this bar, and we've talked about this unrealistic imaginary bar a lot of times on my show, that people got to reach this bar, and sometimes it's at the expense of themselves. Like just really get into a space where they're not okay, whether that's physically worn out, mentally worn out, emotionally worn out. And it's just very important to get to a space where we're okay with taking a break, sitting back, and breathing and letting all the BS go. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I personally just got back from an amazing vacation. Shout out to the clubhouse. Shout out to my dear friend Summer. She's getting married soon, and so we took a trip to New Orleans for her bachelorette weekend, and it was just what I needed. It came just in time, and it was me telling myself, "You deserve this. You deserve to have some fun. You deserve to sit back, breathe, stretch, shake, and let it go." Because life can get busy. Life can be a lot, and life can be draining. And I know when I'm starting to feel drained, because y'all see this, my sinuses is messing up. My body physically will tell me when it's time to pump the brakes. So that's the first thing I want to talk about, you guys. Talk to you about today, guys. Is what are some of the signs that you get when it's time for you to take a break? What are the things that you notice about yourself when you're doing too much? And when I say doing too much, I mean like whether that's work life, whether that, your family. I know a lot of people got kids and significant others, and you working, and then you trying to be with your friends, and it's a lot of different hats that people wear. It's a lot of different circumstances and scenarios that we juggle in our everyday lives. How do you know when it's time to take a break? How do you know when it's time to just stop and breathe and just be at peace? So me physically, I start to feel drained. I get sleepy. Fatigue is the word. I call it because I'm not completely tired. I can still go, but just like when I sleep, I sleep. And it's like that real tired sleep that when you wake up, you're still tired. but you can make yourself do what you need to do. So my body, I get tired, my head, I get these migraines out of nowhere, and that's when I know I'm doing too much. When my head go to hurting all the time for no reason, okay, Nay, it's time for you to take a step back. So what are some of the physical things that you could pick up on? Emotional things. I get very irritable. What are some emotional things that start to take place when it's time for you to take a step back and pump the brakes? I get very irritable, angry, just snapping on people for no reason, very snippy. My attitude is a mess. And I just be like, okay. And then I get sick easily. I never get sick, guys. So when I start to get the in my throat and my nose get the snuffly and my sinuses are acting all crazy, it's time to take a break because I'm doing something and my body is letting me know, hey, we not doing too good over here. Sit down somewhere. And that's okay. When your body tells you to sit down, you need to listen to your body. And that's exactly why I'm asking you to pinpoint what that looks like, so that when your body is giving you the signs that it's time to take a break, that you're actually doing it and know that that's what's happening. So that's the first thing, knowing when it's time to pump the brakes. What does that look like? I want you guys to really pay attention to, how you feel and what's going on in your life, and when it's time to kind of sit back and take care of that. I talk heavily around mental health and just taking care of you like 3 times a year. And as we're ending up the summer, this is one of those times, because as a therapist, this is when I start to get busy. I always celebrate my birthday the whole month of August. And a lot of people think that's just because, okay, Nay really loves her birthday. She just extra. Which all of that is true too. That's true too. But mainly it's because I know once September hits, I'm about to get really busy in my field of work. September, October, November, and December are my busiest times as a therapist. Why is that? With the winter months, the summer coming to an end and winter starting, people tend to be a little more stressed than normal, a little more sad. There's a lot of different things that are going on. There's the holidays. We just got back in school. The kids driving the parents crazy. It's just a lot. It gets cold. If you're single, it's a problem because you want that and that longing you miss to have company. If you're in a relationship, that can be hard because you're inside more, so you and your partner is getting tired of each other. There's a lot of different factors, but as the weather starts to change and we get inside, people's mood and their emotions and all those things tend to get a little more intense. We get reminded of the people that we've lost. We get reminded of the money that we don't have and wish we did, because now it's time to buy all these gifts and make all these decorations and these plans. People are traveling. People are trying to, host different things. Food is a big thing. And more, I don't know if y'all know that, but, the more you eat, it kind of messes with depending on what you eat. The more you eat maybe not so much healthy options, it affects your mood. It definitely makes you feel tired and sluggish, and with that in itself comes more of a depressed state. I'm not going to say depression because that's a whole other thing, right? But it puts you in more susceptible to a depressed state because you're sleepy, you're tired, you're sluggish. Maybe you're not getting things accomplished like you need to. So it's just a whole bunch of stuff wrapped in the next couple of months that kind of tend to push people over the edge. So now is the time where I take, for me personally, to do my self-care stuff, because I know I'm about to get super busy in the months coming. So my little tip to y'all as the winter months start to come up, and as I'm talking about this more, is to really hone in on what that looks like for you. Notice those subtle changes. Notice how you're feeling. Notice the people that you got in your circle, how they're feeling. Because, guys, if you haven't noticed or not, I don't know, the people and how they feel affect you as well. Your family members, your close friends, your significant other, your children, co-workers, if they're in a mood or they're having a bad day or multiple bad days, that can most certainly cause you to have a bad day. So just being cautious and aware of like what's going on around you, the people that you got around you, and just paying attention to all of that so you don't get sucked into this deep, heavy space and you're not in a place to take care of you. So noticing, that the time of year is changing and what effects that have on you as well. I do a whole segment as we get closer to Christmas about that whole keeping up with the Joneses thing. Terrible, terrible, terrible effect on people's mental health. And you definitely want to watch that and, be mindful. So let's move into burnout. Let's talk a little bit about burnout. When people hear the word burnout, I think your mind immediately goes to work, right? Not to speak for everybody, but when I have this conversation with people, they'll be like, "Oh, I love what I do," or "Work is actually a good thing. Work is what keeps me going. I actually have energy and I'm happy when I'm at work." Well, work is not the only type of burnout that you can feel. You can be socially burnt out. You can be familial burnt out. Work definitely can burn you out. Relationship burnout, like burnout can be in any area and aspect of your life. So being sure to pay attention to how you're feeling. Like, I know I'm starting to get a little because prior to my trip, I was getting burnt out from work. It was time for a break and a breather, right? And then I had an amazing time with my girls. And when I came home, I'm like, all right, I'm socially burnt out because it was a lot. There was 15 of us on that trip. That's 15 different personalities, 15 different situations, life journeys, all coming together at one. And although I loved it and it was a great time, we had so much fun. I'm good for a little bit on being in big groups of people doing a lot of stuff. Although I am taking another trip at the end of the month for my actual birthday. It won't be such a large number, and I'll have some time to recoup from my social burnout because for me, I'm a very social person. Knowing your gauges, guys, I'm a very social person. So my social burnout doesn't last long. If I do something that leaves me socially burnt out, it only takes a couple of days and I'm ready. I'm ready. Give me a week, give me 2 weeks, maybe 3 at the most, and then boom, we're at it again. Whereas work burnout, because of what I do, takes a little longer to bounce back from that. My work burnout, not a couple days. I need a couple weeks to really get back to myself because I'm an empath. And so I take on a lot of the stuff that I get when I'm at work. So definitely something to tap into and figure out for yourself. What does your burnout look like in the different areas of your life? And how long does it take you to bounce back? We got to pace ourselves with that burnout so that we can give ourselves that grace in that time to bounce back. You don't want to be in a space where you move too quickly. And kind of like I was talking about in the beginning, our generation really moved on a space of we don't give ourselves that time to bounce back. There's so many people that I know professionally, and I'll just use profession as an example because that's the first thing that a lot of people think about when they think about burnout is work is kicking your ass, right? You're tired, you got all of this stress and this anxiety surrounding whatever it is that you do for work. And the weekend comes and you're not resting, you're hanging out, or you're a parent, so you got like kids events and different things going on. You got Saturday to relax, which you don't, right? And then Sunday, you're supposed to relax, which you don't, because now you got to prepare for Monday. And so, at what point are you giving yourself grace and time to really settle and relax, breathe, shake, and let it go from your work burnout. You're not. So it's very important to schedule. You have to schedule bounce back, whatever that looks like for you. You have to schedule your bounce back. I know some people who their family is stressful. Being around their family brings them lots of anxiety. And they have to schedule, like, okay, I know such and such birthday coming up and we about to do a barbecue at grandma's house. I gotta prepare myself to go, and then I have to digress once it's over. But give yourself that, have that understanding, and know that it's okay. That don't mean nothing about, because you feel like you need to digress from your family. Family events can be stressful, and that's cool. But you just gotta know you. I personally, my family gatherings they give me energy. Like, that's something that I use to bounce back, especially from work. My family is my bounce back from work a lot of times. So on my weekends, work is crazy during the week, and on the weekend I'm at my mom's house, or I'm spending time with my sister and my cousins, or doing things with my little cousins or nieces and nephews. Like, that's my fixer, my picker upper. Being around the people that I love is my balance from work. And then my balance from my social is being by myself. So like this weekend, I just had an amazing weekend with my girls. But this weekend, I'm doing absolutely nothing. Don't nobody call me. Don't nobody invite me nowhere. I'm not doing anything. I need to focus on my bounce back. So I will be sleeping, catching up on my sleep. I'll be resting. I'll probably do a little pampering, because that's something too that kind of helps me to breathe, stretch, shake, let it go. Maybe a little massage, you know what I'm saying? Definitely get my nails, because look at this. Taking care of me. And so that moves us right into the next piece, self-care. And I know y'all like, now you always talking about self-care. And I am. And I'm going to continue to talk about self-care because it's so important. I feel like people don't love themselves enough to understand the importance of self-care. You have to get to a space where putting you first is your number one priority. And everybody's like, oh, I got kids. Oh, I got a husband or a wife. Oh, I got this. Oh, I got that. I tell everybody, you have to have room for you outside of being a mom or a dad. You have to have room for you outside of being whatever your employment title is. You have to find room for you outside of being a partner and all these things. You have to find room for you in the middle of all the chaos and craziness of your life. It can be a little hard. Yes, I understand this, but it's so important. And I promise if you guys start to do this on a regular basis, it won't seem so hard. It won't seem so hard because you will understand how better you feel once it's all said and done. So self-care, make a list. How many of you guys actually know what makes you happy? When's the last time you really stepped back and was like, let me make a list of things that I can do to put a smile on my face? Let me really have an understanding of what I should do when I'm feeling sad. What cheers me up? What gives me that peace of mind? What's that feel good moment for me? I have a lot of time to contemplate on this because I teach people this. So for me, I have a lot of different lists for different situations. I have a list for when I'm angry. I have a list for when I'm sad. I have a list for when I feel lonely. I have a list for when I'm actually just happy and I want to keep that momentum going. What my self-care looks like. And just to give you guys a couple of examples, self-care can be something as simple as going to the beach and watching the sunset. Your self-care doesn't have to cost $1 million. It doesn't have to involve leaving your house. Another self-care thing I like to do is taking a bubble bath. That costs $0. I don't have to leave my house. I don't have to interact with people. I can go right in my bathroom and turn my music on, and boom, it just transforms to this experience that it is definitely what's needed in the moment. So, it doesn't have to be something that involves this grand gesture. Take a bath, go for a walk, go to the beach, go swimming, hit the gym. I know so many people that for them self-care is working out. Um, Self-care in regards to working out and being active, I feel it a little bit, but not really, especially because if something is going on, I'm like, "Ugh, I got something got to give." Working out gonna be the first thing. I'm be like, "Yep, I can skip the gym today." Like I done skipped the gym all week this week because I'm tired. Ooh, I be tired. I'm spending a moment to just, you know what I'm saying? But in contrast to that, being active and getting those endorphins going that feel good, music and dancing. I will turn my music on, get in my living room, and jam out. And although I'm not at the gym, I'm moving. My body, the blood is pumping and flowing. And by the time I done worked up a little sweat, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling better. Got a little smile, confidence boosted. Like it's a good vibe. So the gym for some, dancing in my living room for me. The bedroom DJ always is that. Turn your music on and just I be having full blown concerts in my room sometimes when I'm not feeling good. And picking music that fits your mood. People always ask me like, "Oh, when you sad, you be playing sad music." Yes, because I need to understand. Somebody feel me. Somebody understands what's going on in my life right now. I had this conversation with one of my other guests. How music really connects you to other people, whether it's the lyrics, whether it's the actual vibrations and the beat and the music, whether you connect with the artist. Music is a good, like, you know what I'm saying? I got happy songs to play when I'm happy. I got sad songs to play when I'm sad. Let me go ahead and cry and get this out. Y'all know me. I cry. I'm a crier. So, get it out, do what I need to do, and then I feel better. Put on my music while I'm cleaning up, put on my music while I'm working out. Music is definitely a way to take care of self, just in that ability to connect with other people. So really just take a moment to think, what do I need to do for me to make myself feel good? What do I need to do for me to make myself calm down? Really go through all the emotions that you may have in your life, anger, sadness, like I said, loneliness, even when you're happy. And what are some things that you can do in that time to help you, through that moment and really take care of you, put you first. And I tell people all the time, I used to see, or not even used to see, like when I see people saying like the whole F them kids. Hey, I'm a big fan of that movement because sometimes it is F them kids because you have to put you first. How can you be anything for your children if you're not feeling your best? How can you be anything for your partner, anything for whatever it is that you're needed to do within your career field if you're not feeling your best self? So that's all I'm saying with today's convo is just really take time to figure out what I need to do for me and take care of me. Self-care. Self-care and self-love hand in hand. Love yourself enough to know when enough is enough and that you need to pump the brakes and take care of you in every aspect of your life because that burnout is everywhere. I know so many moms and some dads that feel guilty when they feel like they need to take a break from their kids. Like, oh, these my kids. I'm supposed to. Nope. Get them your kids. Yeah, you're supposed to provide for them and take care of them and, all those things. But you also got to make sure that you're okay. Because what happens? You're too tired to pay attention to them or be attentive and all of those things affect the kids just as much. So yes, take a moment, get yourself together, and then be a parent. Get yourself together and then be a partner. Take care of you. I can't stress it enough to breathe, stretch, shake, and let it go. Because if you don't, you're just gonna do more damage to your family and friends than if you were to just take a break. Um, where we at with it next? Where we at with it next? What we talk about? So we talked about burnout. We talked about self-care, self-love. We talked about being in control of how you feeling as we get ready to enter into these winter months. All of those great things. Because why? Super important. Next I want to talk about talking to someone. Mental health. I'm above mental health right now because you know what else skyrockets as these winter months start to come about? Because your emotions are all over the place, because you're feeling a little less bubbly because now outside closed and you stuck in the house. I'm all for a little drinky drink from time to time, you know. I do believe that there is a such thing as recreational drug use. That's your vice, and you can do it without it affecting the rest of your, but it should not that you do every time something's wrong, or every time you're feeling, or every time you need to take a breather, you run into the bottle, or you run into whatever it is. Like, there has to be other tools. The more the chemical balance in your body and your brain starts to shift, and it becomes a whole situation. So definitely something to think about, guys, as you're getting, what does my coping skills and my self-care look like? Having a little drink with your friends or doing a little situation, cool. But what else do you have in your toolbox? Because we don't want you to fall into addiction because of that. And we don't want your mind to start to think of things. I don't want to say abstract, because abstract thinking is cool, but not in the sense of your mental health and well-being. We all know most drugs have the ability to have your way of thinking out there. And you might start to think of life a little differently if you're already stressed, if you already have all this anxiety, if you already have, all this heaviness, and then you use drugs. Now you're feeling like, well, it's not worth it. Or you're feeling like nobody cares, or you feel hopeless. And that goes into a whole other thing. Alcohol is a depressant. So if you're already feeling low and you're already stressed and all those things, anxious and everything like that, you're moved up and down all over the place, and then you're drinking heavily on top of that, again, now you're feeling hopeless. Now you're feeling like life is not worth it. Now you're feeling like craziness. And we don't want that to happen either. So having other tools, get you a therapist, get you, and I say this very cautiously. People love to tell you to check on your strong friends and be there for people and make yourself available, because sometimes all it takes is a listening ear. And I hear all of that. And I think that that's very important. But also understand that what you're dumping on your friends and family and significant others, they're carrying that now too. And you don't want to overload the people in your life, because everybody got their own stuff that they're dealing with. Everybody got their own struggles and situations. And, of course, your loved ones and your friends and whoever want to be there for you, but you want to, and again, I say this very cautiously, because I don't want you to feel like you can't go to your people. You know what I'm saying? Or, I hear that so much. Like, I felt like I didn't have anybody because I don't want to burden. Like, being burdensome is a thing, but if you feeling it like that, speak up and say something. But also, get a therapist. I am such a advocate of getting therapy, having that unbiased opinion, having that outside looking in dialogue with someone. Sometimes our friends and family have the tendency to give us advice that may not be the best, but it's what they think is best because they love us. Or they really don't know one way or the other, so they just, they tell you what they would do, and maybe that's not what's going to work most for you. Maybe your situation is not to be handled in that manner. So, it's always good to have that professional, outside, unbiased look to kind of have that dialogue. And I tell people all the time too, when you look for a therapist, find somebody that you connect with, somebody that you feel like you can actually vibe, not on a friendship level, but like that, okay, I feel like this person gets me. Shop around. You ain't gonna just buy the first car off the lot. You're gonna do your research. You're gonna test drive it. Get you a session or two in and fill it out. What she talking about? What he talking about? Do we get it? Do I feel like, because sometimes some therapists, they do just be there collecting a check. But, there's some of us out there that really care about, how you move forward and how you deal with whatever it is that you bring to us. And so it's important for you to find, who that person is that you mesh well with, and then give it a go. Like, I say this all the time. I'm a therapist that has a therapist. Even I have to unload on an unbiased, and that's why I can speak so highly of it. Not only because I do it, but because I experience it on the other end. Having that unbiased outside look at what's going on in my life. And because I'm a therapist and I know how to, okay, this person gets it. They understand, and we can talk about it, and they're going to be serious because they don't love me. So understanding that reality hurts sometimes and reality can be a lot, they're going to take me there and they're going to make me do the work. That's the whole point of therapy, doing the work. Depression is so heavy. It is, but I'm here to tell you that you should not. I don't want you to either carry that on your own. Especially with the times changing and different things going on. Like, we really got to do better about taking care of ourselves. I am proud to say I feel like our generation is a little more open to the whole receiving help thing. Like, a lot of people that I know within my age group do go to therapy, and they do reach out for professional help, and they are advocating for medications and understanding that sometimes the chemical balances in your brain be off, and we need a little medication to get it back on track. And there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you're not abusing the medication, because that's the thing too. So just really paying attention again to how you're feeling and what's going on, those telltale signs that it's time to take a step back. It's time to breathe, stretch, shake, let it go. It's time to regroup and digress. It's time to, get back to a space that feels good for you. Really, really pay attention to that. I recognized within the last couple of months that it's easy to get off track with taking care of you. And so I just want to spend a little time talking about that. Life gets busy. Life gets hectic. And we feel like with all the responsibilities that we have and the different things that we have going on, it's easy to get caught up in just doing what you got to do, right? So really getting back to a space, really, oh, I know you're lying. Really getting back to a space where it's okay and we understand that it's okay to put some of that stuff down. Put some of that stuff down. Put some of those responsibilities down. I know one thing about we millennials, we ain't scared to leave nobody's job. When that burnout at work be too much, we be quick to, all right, I'm out, on to the next. And I think that's important in every aspect of our lives, not just at work. When that relationship is too much, all right, I'm out. If you don't work at it and try to fix it and try to be in a space of understanding and it's just not doing what it needs to do, all right, I'm out. Because you owe it to yourself to take care of you. You owe it to yourself to put you first. You owe it to yourself to love you enough and understand that I gotta take a step back. Friendships too, you know. I know so many people that, oh, I've been friends with this person for so long. I've given them chance and time again, and they still acting crazy. They still giving me stress. They're still not understanding. They're being selfish. Well, all right. It was nice knowing you. It was fun, but I got to go. Even family. I know so many people that have a hard time detaching themselves from family members that are toxic. Y'all love to use that word anyway. Toxic. Everybody toxic. But there are some people in your life that are truly toxic and you need to walk away. And I know a lot of people that struggle with the idea that if they're family, if they're blood, I can't just walk away. I can't just move on to the next situation. Like, this my family, this my sister, this my brother, this my mama, my daddy, it's my granny girl. Okay, well, listen. Granny girl got to go if granny girl got you stressed to the max and you can't be your best self. It is okay to disassociate yourself with family if they're not benefiting you. So really look at that and take a moment to reevaluate the relationships in your life. The situations. I know so many people that hold on to the most minute situations because they feel like a sense of obligation. Extracurricular things, there's this sense of obligation and we won't walk away. If it's costing too much money, you don't need to participate in these things. If it's taking up all of your time and you feel like you're exhausted at the end of the day because you ripping and running and back and forth, maybe you don't need to do these things. Really look at what's important. Prioritize your life and the people, places, and things that are a part of it so that you don't overwork yourself. Because at the end of the day, nobody's going to take care of you like you take care of you. You know you. You spend the most time with you. You understand what makes you tick. You understand what slows you down. You understand what makes you smile. And yes, of course, we teach others these things about us, right? We hope that others will participate in making us smile and helping us to feel at peace. And you know, they say, oh, find your peace, and all those great little catchy sayings and such, right? But at the end of the day, it's nobody's responsibility but yours. I tell people this all the time. Your happiness, your peace of mind, your freedom, just your ability to feel free is up to you. That is your responsibility. So if that looks like taking a step back, if that looks like letting some things go, slowing down, it's just something we have to do. And there's nothing wrong with that if it keeps your mental health intact. And earlier we were just kind of talking about a lot of different contributors to your mental health, whether that's your activity level, what you're eating, the people that you're associating yourself with, the things that you're doing. I'm challenging you all within the next couple of weeks as the summer is coming to an end to really take a moment and figure out what the next couple of months of your life is going to look like. Who is that going to include? What is that going to include? Are we needing to reevaluate our job? Are we needing to reevaluate our living situation? Are we needing to reevaluate Even our self-care tactics. If your self-care look like taking a trip every weekend, but you can't afford to take a trip every weekend, you might need to find other coping skills. If it look like going out and drinking every weekend, but you can't afford to go out and drink every weekend, you might need to find some other coping skills. Because although certain things that we do to cope with life and help us feel good, they may be stressing us out in another area, and that defeats the purpose. It's kind of like canceling it out. I'm going on this trip to help with my work stress, but I really can't afford it, so now I got to work more. Because then my bills is, come on, let's be smart about it though. Problem solving, communication. These are our self-care tactics as well. Learning how to talk about the things that are bothering you and bogging you down and stressing you out. Being open to the idea that the people in our lives really care about us enough to help us sort through our stuff. Or let me go ahead and see what these benefits package is looking like at work so I can get this therapist. Most jobs, and this is just a tip for y'all, most jobs have like an EAP program where you can go and get free therapy for different situations. Like they allow so many, free sessions or whatever. And you can change what those sessions look like to fit your needs. I remember when I was in grad school and I was in my relationship and we had my stepdaughter living with us full time and I was working and it was just so much different stuff going on at one time, right? So my EAP program gave you like 4 sessions per situation. So, okay, boom, my first 4 sessions was I'm feeling depressed. Life is hard. And then my next 4 sessions was my partner is driving me crazy. So now he need to come with me and we need to do this couples counseling. And then my next 4 sessions was I'm feeling confused about work and school and, my career path. Like, utilize them things. Switch it up. All those different areas of your life give you different types of stress. Like I was saying in the beginning with the burnout. That burnout happens across the board. Different areas, different stuff, different effects that it have on you. My family don't give me burnout, but work damn sure do. My social burnout is definitely a real thing. Even though I'm a social person, I'd be like, woo, people. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I deal with people every day at work. So that kind of adds to it. So sometimes I just don't want to talk. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to see nobody. I want to get out my face. And I don't mean it to be mean or rude or none of that, but I have been talking to people every day, Monday through Friday, for 8 hours a day. So on my Saturday that I want to sit in my room and not answer my phone, respect my mind. The last thing I want to talk about before we go ahead and wrap it up and kind of just, bring everything back full circle is setting boundaries. Guys, boundary setting is very, very important, not only for your peace of mind, but the peace of mind of the people in your life. Because kind of going back to what I was saying, like with the kids, if you mad and boundaries are being crossed and you're in an uncomfortable space, you finna be snapping on people for no reason. You finna be in a bad mood. You finna be angry. It's not gonna be good. So being able to put up those boundaries and have the people in your life respect them. If the answer is no, the answer is no. Whatever in regards to whatever. And whoever needs to understand that. And if they don't, it goes back to that whole reevaluating the people in your life. Being able to, something that I'm learning now, and it was really hard for me to get this concept until recently, is setting boundaries at work. I'm such a team player, right? I'm all about, the greater good of my company and my facility, like I've always been that person to go over and beyond. And that's cool, right? That's a great trait to have within in the business world, but not, check this out, if it's causing you to lose your mind. You taking work home with you feel like you're never getting a break, you feel like it's too much. It's time to go to your supervisor and be like, I need to pump the brakes. I need to pull back. And that's a discussion to be had, because they should be able to respect that. Let you have your duties, let you do what you need to do. You can contribute to other projects or whatever the case may be, but not if it's going to cause you to be a maniac. And if your job is not respecting that, and we can't come to some type of compromise, then that might not be the best fit for you. And I'm not telling you to go on your job tomorrow and just quit and walk out on the people's job and cuss everybody out and be like, oh, y'all don't respect me. But put the boundary in place. Talk, have that conversation. I used to be not even able to have the conversation, afraid that, oh, well, I've been doing it all of this time. It's going to be seen as whatever. Who cares? I was doing it all the time and now I'm not doing it anymore because I'm losing my shit. I'm losing my mind. This is hard. Set the boundaries. Another place, at home with your partner. So many families have this heaviness because and I don't even want to call them gender roles, the partnership roles there's no boundaries in place. There's no respect on how we supposed to be doing this. You just did it all the time, and when you need help, you don't even know how to ask your partner because you feel like they're going to feel away, or maybe they've said something in the past that makes you feel like they're going to feel away. Well, now it's time to have a conversation. Now we got to talk about this because it's putting me in a bad space. It's making me feel crazy. It's making me feel burnt out. It's making me feel like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever else is going on and causing you distress. Like, you have to be able to have that communication with the people in your life. Certain friends, we was just talking about that. They dump. They going through things. They call you all the time. They, need your help. They need your advice. They need your non-judgmental whatever. Being able to say, hey, I love you. And I really do want, the best for you. And I hope your situation works out for you. But I can't do this today or tomorrow. I need a minute. Put the boundary in place. We're not going to talk about this certain thing no more because it's too much. I don't want to talk about a certain thing anymore because it triggers me. Boundaries, communication. One thing I love about my friends is they know. Nay is a therapist. She's dealing with a lot of stuff at work, a lot of other people's situations. So when they call me, it's always, hey, how you feeling? First of all, are you in the mindset to take on, can I talk to you about something? I love that. It's because I put that boundary in place and my people respect it. They love me enough to understand that sometimes adding too much will push me over the edge. So when you're looking at, setting the boundaries and having that community, that's a conversation to be had with people. Hey, when you bring me your stuff all the time, it makes me depressed. It stresses me out. I get super worried. Like, talk to your people, let them know. I can't take on your stuff right now. And set boundaries on yourself. Come up with a schedule. Time management. Incorporate alone time. Make yourself, because I know some people, they have a hard time with self-care and making themselves take care of the self-care. Make yourself take care of yourself. Okay, I am gonna go to bed early tonight. Okay, I be rushing in the morning, getting to work, and then I'm stressed out or whatever. I'm gonna put my clothes ready before I get up. So I already know what I'm gonna wear. I'm gonna set a couple of alarms to make myself get up on time. Or I be stressed about trying to figure out what's what for lunch and do this, and my eating be thrown off. So now I'm going to meal prep to make sure that I have a lunch for tomorrow and I'm not spending extra money just running out and getting something. Or I'm staying on track with what I said I was going to eat. Or I'm giving myself the motivation to hit the gym. Because that'd be me. I be feeling like if I ain't eat right, I'm not going to go to the gym because it is defeating the purpose. If I had a donut and some cookies on my lunch break, I'm not going to the gym. But if I meal prep and I bring this chicken and broccoli, now I'm feeling motivated to go to the gym. And that's just one example, but I'm just saying you gotta make yourself stay on track with the things that you want for you too. You can't hold everybody else in all these other areas of your life to this high standard of self-care and taking care, in the benefit of you, and you're not even doing it. Love on yourself. Positive affirmations in the morning, journaling happy thoughts, challenging yourself to be kind. Some of y'all real grumpy, real rude, and real mean. For what? Be nice to people. And it will amaze you how good that makes you feel. Being nice to other people, doing nice things for other people, being there for other people. Just some things to think about. Just want to sprinkle some mental health tidbits in your ear as, we're coming to the end of the year. This is the 8th month. The new year is right around the corner. What are some goals that you have for yourself that you still need to accomplish? Put your best foot forward in the next couple of months. Put your best foot forward and really just take the time to figure out what this looks like for you to make sure that you're okay in every aspect. And that's it, Your girl always wants to make sure that y'all doing good, that y'all happy. I was talking to a couple of my friends just the other day, and I'm like, okay, the end of the year is coming, and normally I do all my fun stuff by August so that September on, I'm like focused and work and I'm saving money and then the new year come and I be sad as hell because for the last couple of months I'm just drained. I'm emotionally just all over the place. Every time the end of the year I gain like 100 pounds because there's just so much different things going on that be throwing me off. So I said this year I was going to do it a little different. Yes, I'm having fun and doing all this great stuff for Vegas and I'm celebrating my birthday, but I'm not going to restrict myself from doing fun things in the months to come. I'm still going to hang out with my friends. I'm not going to go into this little bubble. I love to get into this little bubble around October time and don't nobody call me, don't nobody talk to me, no, girl, we're not doing that this year. We still outside, we still doing fun stuff, we still hanging out with our friends, we not eating everything in sight because we just sitting in the house ignoring people. We still going to the gym even if it's cold outside. Like I really be just psyching my mind up that I'm supposed to be in the house doing nothing up until the new year, and I be miserable. Every start of the year I be miserable. And people don't even be knowing it because I'm a very high functioning when I be having my little spouts of depression. I'm high functioning. I'm still smiling. I'm still, fake till you make it. That's your girl. So I said this year, we're not doing that, Nay. We're not doing that this year, Nay. We are going to still take care of us. And I want y'all to do that too. Really understand what that looks like and make it happen. So just to recap, as we near the end of this show, hey, glad y'all checked in and vibe with your girl today. Breathe, stretch, shake, let it go. The things that are heavy, let it go. The things that are burdening you, let it go. Really take care of you, get to a space where we understand how we feel when we're not our best. Like, what are the physical things that happen to your body? Pay attention. Your body gonna be the first to tell you when you need a break. When you feeling tired and you feeling unmotivated and you want to sleep and your eating is off, you angry and just snapping on people, it's just different kind of things going on. You probably need to take a break from life. You probably need to take a little weekend to yourself. You probably need to send the kids to grandma's house. You probably need to go have a drink or two with your friends or not. Stay home, sleep, take a bath. Let your body tell you if it's time to take a break and take it. On top of that, what are the things that give you a break? Do you need to take a trip? Do you need to hit the beach? Do you need to go get a massage? Do you need to take a bubble bath? Knowing and having a list of things that help you to feel your best self and allowing yourself to do it. Reevaluate these relationships in your life. Reevaluate these friendships. Reevaluate these family, because even though it's family, sometimes they don't need to be in your ear. They don't need to be in your space and your energy, because we take that stuff on, right? Being cautious about the people that you allow in your space and to affect you. Work burnout. Take a break. Talk to your supervisor. Talk to your coworkers. If you self-employed or you an entrepreneur or you got your own business, understand what that looks like for you. Put things in place so that you can take a step back when you need to, because that's one of the most common ways of burnout that we know, work burnout. So put things in place to deal with that too, so that you're not out here losing your mind. Coping skills. It's okay to have some bad ones, but it's also, we need balance, right? We need some good ones too. If you need a little drinky drink, go ahead. You need a little smoky smoke, okay. Sex, spending money, shopping. I'm here for all of that. Eating crazy stuff, I'm here for all of that. But balance. What else are you doing? Are you going to the gym? Are you talking to a therapist? Are you journaling? What we got? What's in our toolbox to deal with this mindset? And understanding that depression is real. Depression can come and go. There's such things as situational, seasonal, clinical. Like, there's a lot of different ways to be depressed. If you start to feel not yourself and your thoughts are kind of crazy and your thoughts are kind of heavy, get a therapist. Look and see what kind of options you have with work. Look at your benefit package. Check with your insurance company. Talk to somebody. If you can't talk to a therapist, find you a reliable friend or family member that can give you the most unbiased conversation that you can have. The most unbiased, because 9 times out of 10, if they love you and care about you, it's going to be a little biased, right? But find the one that's not going to be so much as what they want for you, but what really do we need to figure out for you? You know what I'm saying? And gauge the situation. We can't just dump on everybody just because we know they love us and that they may have our best interest at heart. Because maybe they going through their own stuff and they can't handle your stuff. So talk to your people and find out, how you feeling before I go into my whole debacle of a life. And then take a moment to set boundaries for the people in your life and yourself. Understanding that it's okay to need a break. It's okay to need to switch up your routine. It's okay to feel bad. It's okay to not be okay. But what we want to do is not stay in that space. Be not okay, right? And then take the necessary steps to feel better. Breathe, stretch, shake. Let it go. Let it go, however that looks for you. So that's my spiel. I appreciate y'all for coming back. I have not done the show in like 3 weeks, and I really was not feeling my best self to do a show. But I said, let me come on here and do a show, because I ain't did one in a couple of weeks. And This is why, because I wasn't feeling good. So I'm like, let me talk to these people so they know it's okay to take a break. I ain't do it because I was taking a break. And I got a little more energy right now because I just came back from vacation. Even though work this week has been a shit show. Look at this. I'm gonna definitely have a self-care weekend this weekend though. Maybe I'll jot down what I do and then share it with you guys on next week's show. But that's my time. Shout out to everybody that hit me up and checked on me over the last couple of weeks because y'all hadn't seen me. Appreciate that. I did get a few more letters. I'm probably going to shift my show to Friday nights. I don't know yet. I'm thinking about it. Don't hold me to it. I'll let y'all know. But maybe, and I think I'm going to go back to reading you guys' letters and having dialogue around those letters because y'all been sending me some more letters and it's been a lot of good stuff. So we might tap back into that letter bag and do it that way. But I love y'all. Have a good night. Be safe. Love on your people. Tell people you care about them, that you're thinking about them, and take care of you. I want you to take care of you. I need you to take care of you so that you continue to thrive and be great. I need you to go to barnesandnobles.com and get a copy of my book and let me know how you love it because I know you will. And meet me right back here next week for another conversation on That's Told by Nay, the podcast. Tell a friend and tell a friend and let's talk about it.